So let's wait for the person who was making the suggestion, and let's see. And then if he is back, you can continue with what you were saying. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, the one who was making suggestion, if he is back, you can continue, please. Oh, he's yet to log in.
Mr. Ture, please, are you also doing your final exam next 2 weeks?
If the admin said that the exams are, they have to be.
Yeah, because most of our lecturers are also their exam. Yeah,
Yeah.
because most of our lecturers are also giving us notification for next 2 weeks for their final exam.
Let's see.
why I was
Let's
trying
forget
to
about the exam. The key here is to get the knowledge. I'm sure most of you want to go and do your masters. So, and I don't know whether let's see. I have seen the notification, and I don't know whether the exam will be conducted physically or not. But that's why I'm even closing the class today early, because I have to sit and draft some your assignments. And maybe if there will be an exam, I draft it as well. But I had it 2 weeks later. That will be the end of the trimester. I had it too. But if they are doing it, the admin is doing it. That's the official data. I can't. I have to do it as well.
So okay, but do you have a system in which we can do it online, or we should do it like the way we did there?
Last time, those who took principles of economics from me, there is a platform, a portal. They did that exam. It automatically marks it, but this is mathematics. You understand?
Yeah.
So it becomes totally different. Yes.
Why not then we make it in a form of assignments? You give us like how we are doing it.
That's why I'm giving you an assignment. That's why I even plan to finish the class earlier than the official time, to draft like 3 to 4 more assignments and give it to, in case that there are a lot of scenarios I'm calculating, something like that. So if there will be no physical exam, I will just grade that. I think I made that clear that let you people take the assignment serious. Might be
Yes, you said
we will use for your exams. So we are also talking with I'm a part-time lecturer, but I'm talking with the admin, the authorities, to know what is on the ground. But as times goes on, if everything is well known to me, I will communicate to you people as well. There is an online platform, but this is mathematics. So I have been searching also online to see whether I can conduct the exam online. I have been searching, but for the mathematics, it becomes extremely difficult. If it's just economics, whereby you can take objective and you upload it, then I did it last trimester. But this one is mathematics. It's a whole different gym.
yeah. Okay, no problem.
Right. So I will communicate to you people. We have our WhatsApp group, so keep checking there. If there's anything related to this course, I will definitely let you guys know.
Okay, thank you.
So if you have question, you can ask. And there was a guy who was making a suggestion about something, then this went off. If he wants to continue, the floor is still open. The goal is to improve the quality of these online classes every time. So feedbacks from you is very, very important for me. That's why I try to engage you, what you think or what you observe, or your comments, something like that. So if you have anything you want to share with the class, the floor is still open. All right, so we are all okay.
Yes, for now.
All right. So let's pray this thing goes, goes away so that we can return back to the class. For me, I enjoy it, having that interaction with students than this, because the amount of work that goes before I set up this online is a lot of work. There's a lot of things that you need to fix here and there. It's very time consuming, but let's manage with this. This is what we have for now. All right, so we talked about, we have looked at function, how to evaluate a function, how to find a domain of a function. We looked at different functions that we have in business world or in economics and other social sciences. And we looked at how to graph a quadratic equation. Today, we looked at that as well. And we looked at cost. If we look at a cost function, we can know the variable part of it and the cost part of it. So now let's talk about composite function. You understand? So in life, before we even go mathematically, you understand? Let's look at a situation whereby, composite function is like, a function depending on a function. For example, like we can have something like this. We have f of x. Then we can also have g of x. So this function can depend on this one. So normally composite function, the symbol for it is like this. So when you see a symbol like this, whereby we have a f and it's a function of g. So we can say f is a composite function of x. So what this is trying to tell you is this: when we have a f here, and we have g here, and we have x here. So in fact, before we go into this mathematics, let's build the intuition first. Let's look at what do we understand by composite function. Maybe we even go into real life to explain it where you have this application. So we have this. We have two functions here. We have function f and function g. So composite function means that, when a function depends on another function, like f depends on function g. And how do you know that? Mathematically, we can state this. F is a composite function of x. Obviously, when x change, function g will change. When function g change, then f will change. So we know that this is an input. And we also have a function f, and we also have another function g. So when there is a change in x, it will cause what? A change in g, which also will lead to what? Change in f. So a change in x, which is an input, will lead to change in g, and change in g will lead to change in f. So composite function means that a one function depending on another function. And this is the mathematical notation for it. So maybe let's look at our daily life whereby this composite function can apply. So let's look at a situation whereby we have quantity. Their demand is another possibility. Demand is another possibility. So yeah, if we want to take demand, we can still go on. I want to bring a very interesting, but let's go with the demand. Why price depend is a function of quantity produced. But if you looked at quantity also, it depends on what the quantity produced. It depends on what? the capital or the inputs to production process, not so. So we are saying that, I understand, if at the end of the day, then the price also depends on the input. So price depends on quantity, quantity depends on input. So if there is a change in input, it will lead to what? So we have a situation like this: price, we have quantity, then we have input. So the quantity that you the quantity of goods and services that you produce depend on the inputs that you use in the production. So if there is a change in input, obviously there will be a change in quantity. And if there is a change in quantity, there will be what? A change in price. So what we are saying, this is a demand function. It depends on what? The quantity function. So this is just called a chain reaction. So when we talk about composite function, it means one function depending on another function. So this is a demand function. It depends on quantity function. So what this is telling you, price depends on quantity, but quantity also depends on the input. So what we can do, with mathematical notation, we can say that this is quantity. So this will be quantity as an input. So let's represent input with a letter, with just I. So we will have this as what? Composite function. So what this composite function is telling you is what? Quantity depends on input, but quantity depends on input. But price also depends on quantity. So obviously, indirectly, the input is affecting the price. So this is what we mean by composite function. A function depending on another function. We have a price. Price is here. Let's visualize this. Then quantity is here. So this is what the meaning of that. Price depends on quantity, a demand function. But we know that this quantity we are producing, it depends on what? The inputs, like capital and labor. You understand? So let's even take a good example of what? A table. You know, let's say this is a table, the quantity of table produced and the price of table. But we know that the quantity of table produced depend on what the inputs we use, like woods and others. So P is a function of table, but table also is a function of the prices of input. So we can say that composite function wise that P depends on the quantity of table produced, but the table also depends on the price of the inputs we use. So this is the notation for composite function. So it's just like something depends on something, you know? So it's like a chain reaction. It's just like transportation. So this is important. We will take some practical, like a real life example whereby something depends on something. So we are saying that price depends on quantity, but quantity depends on the price of inputs. So let's just call this input price. So not to confuse, let's just say input. And by input, we mean the capital and labor. If you use more capital and labor, you will produce more goods. And more goods that you produce, it will affect the price. So if there's a change in input, it will lead to what? A change in quantity. And a change in quantity will lead to what? A change in price. So composite functions like this, then you have input. So what it is telling you that price depends on quantity, but quantity also depends on input. So indirectly, this is affecting this. So we can say that price is a composite function of the inputs. What does it mean? Input indirectly affects the price. This is the whole logic behind composite function. Understand? Something is affecting something indirectly. So the input is affecting price through what? Through its impacts on this. Input is affecting this through its impacts on quantity, because quantity affects the price. So this is what we mean by composite function. So let's take some example, mathematical example, 1 or 2. Then we will call it a day. So you can go further. We have more examples in the material I shared with you. So let's take an example. Maybe it can solidify your understanding. So it says, find the composite function, okay? G of x, where f of u is equals to u raised to the power of 2 plus 3u plus 1, and g of x equals to x plus 1. So why we have this problem? This is the question. So first, the question is what? To ask us to find this composite function. What's the composite function? It said f of g and g of what? X. So before you go and solve this, let's try to understand this. This is telling you that f, this function, depends on this function. But this function also depends on x variable. So all what you need to do is very, very simple. So we have to substitute this function into this. So wherever we see u, you understand? Wherever we see u here, we replace it what? With g. So we can say that u equals to x plus 1. Remember, they said that this is the outer function and this is the inner function. So it is telling you that this function depends on this. So these values, we will use it and substitute it here. So wherever we see u in this function, we put x plus 1 there. We put x plus 1 here. So that's why we said u equals to x plus 1, because this function depends on this. That's the meaning of this. So to find this, we have equals to u raised to the power of 2. So we said that u is what? Nothing but our g of x, which is x plus 1 raised to the power of 2 plus our u is nothing but x plus 1, that is the function g of x. So it will be 3 into x plus 1. Then we have our plus 1. So all what is telling you is that substitute this function into this function. So wherever you see the variable u or the variable that is here, substitute it with the inner function or the function g for this case. So if we have that, then we can expand this. So at the end of the day, if we expand this, we will have this times this, that is x. In fact, let me just do the whole thing for the benefit of everyone. Let me take step by step. So x plus 1 is nothing but x plus 1 times x plus 1 plus this, you multiply the 3 by every term in the bracket. This times this, it will give you 3x. 3 times 1, that will give you 3. Then plus 1. So if you expand this, which you should be able to do it, you understand? It will give you what? X raised to the power of 2 plus 2x plus 2x, then plus 1 plus 3x plus 3 plus 1. So this and this will give you 5x. You collect the like terms. So this and this, they are like terms. So this will be what? We also have another like terms like this. So we have this and this 4, then we'll have what? 5 as like terms. So at the end of the day, let's take here our composite function, which is f of g, which g of x should give us what? X raised to the power of 2 is the same x, this x we have here. So this plus this will give us 5x plus 5x plus this plus this also will give us 5. So this is our composite function. And the meaning is that this inner, I call it inner function, and then we call this outer function. So in mathematics, we can just say, if I want to read composite, and f is a composite function of x. So f is a composite function of x here. So meaning what this is happening, like x affects f, but it does is through what? Through g. This affects this, and this also affects this. So it's a chain reaction. You have your f, and you have x, and you have g. So we have this, we have this. So when x change, so this form here has an input, and this form here has an input. So we can just state that f affects x affect f indirectly. So composite function is about how indirectly one variable affects another. So the impact goes through the g function. So let's stop here. I think we have 15 minutes, and then we will continue with more composite function, more complex ones in the next class. And we will also look at some application of composite function in our businesses and in economics as well. So if you have a question related to composite function, you can ask before we end the class. Any question, comment, observation? Yes.
I want to come back with my observation, like I want to make the other time before we run out of time.
Yeah, sure. Go on.
Yes, like I was saying, this online class is not easy, and it's not as effective as normal classes.
I know, all right.
And I guess nobody wants to graduate with a lower grades.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody wants to graduate with something.
Sorry for cutting you. Is it, I think this is the second trimester we are using online, right?
Yeah, this is second trimester we are using.
Okay, online. So how does it, did it affect your last trimester's grade negatively or?
Of course, it somehow affected us.
Okay, I mean the general, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 students, I mean the general population.
I'm talking about generally, it virtually affects every student.
Okay, why not you? I think
We don't know yet.
Sorry.
Somebody wants to speak. I don't know who's going to speak.
Yeah, somebody wanted to speak. It's just, let's have a dialogue. It's important, you know. The only way solution can come out is when we have a dialogue, you know, open one.
Yes. What I was thinking, what I'm thinking here is, the management with an incentive sort of. That is, you know, this attendance. Normally attendance is 10 mark, contribution is 10 mark, assignment I think is 20 mark. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, this incentive, I think the management should at least stop with 5 marks. For example, attendance should be 10 only for the period of these online classes.
You said the attendance should be 15.
Yes, I'm just suggesting attendance to be 15.
Just go on. There are suggestions.
Contribution to be 15, and then assignment to be 25, to be precise. Then the rest you can get it from the paper, from the exam. Yeah, because look at, I ran out of credit. That's why I have to go and get myself a credit to come back. That's a lot of sacrifice that everyone is doing right now. Right now, the management is not giving us credit.
Oh,
and
you are
we
not
paid our
receiving
school
credit?
fees. They are not receiving any credit. I'm not receiving any credit. The credit I receive has finished since the first Prime Minister. So it's like we are doing it at our own expense, and we pay the school fees to the fullest.
Okay, you know, I've been a student, and I have been part of student body, and normally this, you know, to give you what you can do. I think you have a student body in the university, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you people can come together. There is a dialogue. There is no problem with a dialogue. You know, like this suggestion you made, you know, just table out and meet with the, I don't know, the head of the student association, and you know, have a chat with them and let them present this to the management, to the administration, about the constraints that you are having. These are the formal channels. It's not easy. I know, you know, internet in Gambia is expensive, really expensive. So meet with the student body and table out this suggestion and let them push it to the management, and you have a dialogue with them. That's the best formal channel, because you alone cannot do it. But let's, you know, mobilize students, meet with your student body, and you can, you know, have a nice dialogue with the management.
Oh, okay, we'll do it. We'll do that way, inshallah.
All right, no problem.
We expect you also to do your own part.
Like what? That's okay. What's my part? What can I do personally?
Exactly. Now, your partner, for example, we are complaining to you directly. You understand? You know how things are, Mr. Ture. You all know that not all of us.
So who is speaking? Is it Musa?
This is Musa speaking. Yes.
Okay. All right.
There are
so,
okay.
Mr. Ture, there are.
Sorry.
There are two Musas, not the other one that we did.
I know. This is Musa Fati speaking. I know
Musa Fati speaking. Yes. So I want to suggest you come with a leniency sort of for us.
Leniency, and
that would be your own part. Yeah.
Now let's speak very clearly. Let's speak very clearly.
What I'm trying to say, I'm not suggesting you give everybody. You make us to pass when we don't pass.
No.
But for example,
I make sure I lecture because I'm not saying that the lectures has been perfect all the time, but I make sure I give the lectures, upload the video, something like the quality. We cannot compromise with that. You understand? Because some of you will go and do your masters, and I know what is there. I've been there.
Exactly. So that's why I want to, because nobody wants to graduate with lower grade. Because masters, at least you must get 2 point something, 2.6 and above.
No. So what I'm saying, you understand? I can give you more materials. That one is within my control. I can sacrifice and go. You know, if you look at it, I have been very, you know, I engage with students a lot.
Of course, yes.
You understand? You do. And I'm those who know me personally, I'm extremely busy, but I try to make time for the student.
I know.
Exactly.
I know that.
So I think with the question of credits and orders and other stuff, you know, like I I was part of a student body, you know, and not at the executive level. So what you could do is to meet with your student body and try to talk to the management about the constraints, like as you mentioned, the credits and others, something like that.
Yes,
And if there is
we
something
try to
that
do
I
that
can,
as
yeah, if you
soon
don't
as possible.
understand certain things, you can, I'm very busy, but you can personally contact me. If you don't understand the material, that I can personally help. There is no problem with that. But in doing so, we have to make sure that like everyone goes with something from this class, because the goal, I'm sure most of you
Exactly.
is to do masters, and there, you know, it's important what you do in what you have in the foundation. It will help. So I make
Yeah,
sure
because
that
if you don't
those
have a better
standards are
foundation,
not
the
lowered.
masters will be very difficult for you.
Exactly.
Yes.
So to make it short, try to talk with your student body, and they will have a chat, a dialogue with the management, and I'm sure something will come out of it.
Sure.
All right.
Okay, we'll try to talk as a student body first.
Exactly. Any other? Okay. I hope you. Okay. Any other questions, suggestion that can improve the quality of the class? Okay, and then on that note, we will stop here. I will try to upload the videos on YouTube. Once I do it, I will share it with you on the WhatsApp platform. And about the assignment also, I'm trying to today. I will sit and maybe try to come up with two to three more additional assignments, because it's only God knows whether there will be physical exam. As you know, 2 weeks is what they said. There will be final exams. I wish we have additional 2 weeks, because I want us to
The
even.
final exam is today. For me, I will not advise anybody to go to school, because right now, the way this thing is, for me, if it is going to physical paper, I'm not going to do it.
Your school admin will determine that. I'm sure that they are aware of the situation.
Yes, I know. Exactly.
They
They
will
should
monitor
factor that
it.
one
And
out.
at the end of the day, we lecturers, we cannot make that decision whether you should go or not.
I know.
Your admin will
I
do
know.
that, and I'm sure that they will be very considerate. They will watch. I'm sure they are monitoring what is happening, something like that. So once they make the decision, they will get to us, and we will get to you. And in fact, everyone will hear it at the same time. So, but the most important thing, let's focus on the course. Let's enjoy it. You understand? And there will be assignments. If you are doing them, do it as it's a final exam. This assignment. That's the bottom line. Your school admin will come with the news whether you will do exam physically or not. They will let us know, and I'm sure they will let you know as well.
Oh, okay, no problem. We'll try to work on that, inshallah.
All right. So, guys, stay safe and have a great weekend. And let's stay safe, please, because these things is getting serious. And on that,
it's definitely getting out of hands now, Mr. Ture. I'm telling you. For me, I'm scared of the whole thing now. I was never scared, but now I'm scared.
we will be fine, So on that note, have a happy weekend and goodbye until next Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
I try and upload the videos now so that I can able to download them before I go.
Okay, you want to, no problem. All right.